Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I'm going to start with the ethical research consideration. In my previous lectures, I told you a lot about a theoretical reconsideration. I talk about practical consideration, and today I have the final consideration, which is ethical research consideration. Ethics refers to the morality of doing something. Ethical consideration apply to choices about the type of research being undertaken, such as whether it is ethical to study people without their knowledge and to research their behavior. Whether it is, for example, ethical to deceive people about the purpose of a research study. Ethical issues therefore guide choices about how people are persuaded to participate in research and how they are physically and psychologically protected during and after the study. In this respect, both legal and the safety consideration influence the choice of topic and method and the conduct of the research. I mean, when we talk about the ethical issues, what is ethical issues? I mean, for instance, I'm going to conduct a research, and there's a lot of factors which are involved in this research. First of all, for instance, I'm going to conduct an interview. So first of all, I need to have a permission. Listen carefully. I'm talking about your personal issues. I'm talking about your domestic issues. Are you ready to disclose all your issues? On air. Are you ready for that? So, one thing, if you have the courage, you are so dare. Okay, I'm ready to do this. Okay, that's fine. But most of the people, most of the time, people are not ready to disclose their issues. They are not ready to present themselves as an example. I mean, you don't have the courage that okay, you got certain issues, and I offer you okay through which you can do whatever you like to. But the thing is that with the help of your personality, with the help of your issue, we need to research on that issue. It is very helpful. Are you ready to present your personality? Are you ready to give us a time so we can conduct an interview? So by your permission, if you simply say yes to everything, then it doesn't, so it is basically ethical, because with your permission I'm going to do this. But if you're not able, you simply say no, it is my personal issues, it's my domestic issues, I don't need to talk about my marital or nuptial issues in front of camera. So I say no, it is just personally, I have a, it's not that kind of research, I don't need to disclose all these things on air. We don't put something on that. It is, you can say, I don't need to explain each and everything to you before the interview started. So this is ethical. If this is ethical, if I get permission, I can start up, we can say let's start it, right? But if I simply hide my identity and I'm just trying to pierce through your personality, I just take your example and I simply take the example and simply, uh, you can say simply disclose these things on air or on internet or in my research. I need to put your name. So according, legally, it's unfair. I mean, for instance, you can simply sue me in the court. I mean, without my permission, that this person has done this to me, right? So when I'm conducting research, I need to be very much clear, I need to be conscious enough that they are my limitations, they are the boundaries. I'm not supposed to do anything which hurt the feeling of an individual, either for instance, I'm even not, it is unethical, I simply say okay, I'm going to conduct a research on black people, so I'm not need to mention the black. Even black word is a stigma. I'm not supposed to disclose this black are the poor people. So I need to refine the terms, I need to refine my ideas, so the people should not get hurt through my research. So all these, you can say, the frameworks, we need to first of all decide what is my framework, what is my canvas on which I need to work on, right? So yes, if a person is ready to disclose his personal issues, domestic issues in front of people, that's very good. I mean, we need to say, I mean, thumbs up for that person. But if some person is not ready, you are hiding your identity and you are pursuing something without his or her permission, so it is in unethical, and this is immoral as well. So legal consideration can be a particularly significant factor when research involves observing or participating in illegal behavior such as detention, study, or workplace theft. In terms of topic, the researcher must decide whether it is ethical to research something like criminal behavior in the first place. Choice of method may also be influenced by the level of researcher's involvement. To avoid an ethical dilemma, for example, a researcher may choose to avoid immersive methods such as participant observation when studying criminal behavior. In addition, the researcher must consider their ethical responsibilities to both uh, uh, possible victims and the perpetrators of crime. Participants should also be made aware of the possible consequences of their cooperation, such as adverse media publicity. A researcher should gain the informed consent of those being researched in order to avoid ethical questions about the conduct of the research. Finally, relationship need to be based on trust and personal integrity. If the researcher promises anonymity, disclosing identities to the authorities or the media would be unethical. This is the kind of thing which I told you earlier. So you need to identify your who you are. First thing, what are your borderline? Which kind of question you're going to ask? I if I'm permitted to have this kind of questions, this kind of question must be answered or not. So all these things should be done with the consent of the respondent, right? Safety, the physical and psychological safety of everyone involved in a project in an important aspect of the research process. Some type of research involve methods such as covert participant observation that require deep involvement with respondent. A researcher must take care not to cause distress to potentially vulnerable people at the end of the study. So you don't do something which result in infamy of the people. People should not be hurt by your interview, by your questionnaire. A researcher not prepared for this kind of involvement will therefore choose an alternative method. Ethical practices, while both legal and safety consideration are important, Pimple argue that the sociological research is generally bound by the code of ethical practice that involves the researcher using their values to guide them in answering three research questions. So when you are going to touch the ethical practice, ethical issues, you need to mention there are three things you need to work on. Is it true? At its most extreme, unethical behavior here involves things like the researcher deliberately making up or fabricating data or falsifying the result. First of all, whatever you are saying to me, I try my level best to have as itself, right? Whatever you're saying, it is my responsibility to copy, to replicate the data, whatever you said. But I'm not allowed to fabricate things. I'm not allowed to give a turn and twist to your reality, to your the data I have received from your side. So first of all, important to take it and deliver it as it was by your side. Secondly, is it fair? Unethical behavior here covers how other in research process are treated and refers to things such as ownership. For example, who can ethically claim to be the author? Plagiarism. You know what is plagiarism means? For instance, if you want to take something which is already done and without the permission of the person or the owner, you simply take that data and just copy paste to your research. So this is called plagiarism, and this is totally unethical. A person who did a lot of stuff on a research, and without your permission, without his or her permission, you simply take, copy and paste in your research. So obviously it is unethical, and this the process which it is called plagiarism. You are not allowed to do it, right? Next, is it wise? This refers to the wide question about whether research can be morally justified or whether a different research topic or method would have greater moral justification. This, Pemple argues, involve three tests. So first of all, the thing I need to, is it true what I'm picturing? Second thing, is it fair? I need, whatever I have, I need to share it or not. Third, it's all about the plagiarism. Right. I shouldn't copy some things, hard work. I am not allowed to work like that way. And is it wise? The way I conduct my research, it is wise. The way I conducted it, or I should have a better method for that thing. So even I need to work on that thing. So does the research improve the human condition or damage it? So it is even possible, sometimes even possible. See, I took your interview. There's a lot of stuff which you involved with me, and I took the stuff, and no, it is my ability, this is my capacity, this is my understanding, how well I delivered, how well I quantify or qualify your data, right? So it is important. Does it lead to a better or a worse world? Would it be better to pursue other lines of research? See, I took the research, I took the result, I got the data, whatever I got it. Okay, so I mean, the most important thing is that when I got each and everything, no, it is totally my turn how well I equipped all the stuff. So it is important. See, okay, my will is quite clear that I want to display the data I collected from your side. It is all the benefit of the people who are facing the same stuff. For instance, there was a person who tried his level best to commit a suicide, but he was saved. So once he was saved, I'm going to that person and simply ask, I mean, why you commit suicide? What was the reason behind why you took this step? You shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't be like that. So you can simply tell me, I'm in this phase, I was depressed, inflation, breakup. There's a lot of reason. You can simply put it in your interview. So this is my ability, how well I arrange, how well I manage the data from your side for a better result. I am, if for instance, I take the data and just give a limelight touch. I mean, just try to post something, just try to fabricate something. So it is possible that a research which is done for a goodwill result in a very bad stuff, a very bad result, a worse result. So, I mean, your responsibility will take you to the end. And it is important that you need to accept your responsibility. What is your responsibility even at the end? So the relationship between those things, the research and those being researched, is equally important. So research is important, and I mean, the whatever you got through research is, again, it's important. Even when there is no legal or safety issues involved, they are morally ambiguous areas. They involve research making decisions about the conduct of their research on the issues, such as studying people who do not want to be studied. I mean, sometimes, for instance, if I am in a mental asylum, if I am working for the people who got some psychological problems, psychological issues, so obviously a person who is a bit psyche, he is not ready, or he or she is not ready to give me the interview. I can't take interview from that person, and he's not ready to disclose him or her personality. So it is important for me how well I manage it. So either I need to disclose myself, that I'm going to get something from your side, and then I will simply post it on internet. Should I disclose that thing? Oh, it is important. I need to try my level best to trust his win. Okay, just what happens to me? Oh, I was the same case couple of years before. I was facing the same stuff which you are facing right now. So things happen like that. I shattered my life, but I got this kind of person, and then I changed the course of my life. So just to try to win the trust of the victim, you need to be more, try to more emotionally attach that person with your with yourself. So I will, then you will be able to get a lot of stuff. And the last thing, experimenting on people who do not know they are being studied, are causing them distress. In Milgram's study of authority, respondents were convinced they were giving electric shocks to learners whenever the learners give an incorrect answer to a question. While no shocks were given, the victims were pretending to react. Some respondents broke down in the face of the pain they believed they were inflicting. So experimentation on the people, it's, again, it's important how well you are to conduct this kind of experimentation. So uh, at the end, in a nutshell, I simply tell you the whole story. I'm planning for a research. Very first thing is which approach I'm going to opt. I got three approaches. Which one? Positivism. Second, interpretivism. Third, realism. So positivism, it's all about the practical knowledge, all about the practical data. It's all about the natural science like physics, chemistry. And whenever I talk about the positivism, it's all about the hidden forces, a specific environment like lab. Clear? I talk about interpretivism. Interpretivism is all about interpreting some situation, some scenario. And when I need to interpret something, it shouldn't be a statistical data. It must be the people behavior. It must be the interaction of two people. It must be reaction and action. Interpretivism. And there are certain things in which we need to gel those approaches together to get a good, positive, reliable, and valid result. And it's all about realism. Understand? So this is called approaches. Now comes okay, I am planning to have some approach, one thing. Now I'm going to consideration. Which kind of consideration I have? First of all, it's theoretical, theory, right? Second thing is practical. Third thing is ethical. So whenever we have a consideration, we need to two things. There must be two things in it. First of all, choice of topic, and secondly, choice of methods. Whenever we talk about the method, first of all, we need to make up our mind either it is qualitative method or quantitative method. Quantitative is obviously all about the data, all about the statistics, right? And quantitative is entirely different. It's all about behavior, it's all about objectivity, it's all about the result I'm asking for. It's behavior. It's though it's difficult, but is more important that you people have a research which is result oriented. Productivity is the most important thing in research. But at the same time, there are certain research which doesn't require emotions, doesn't require behavior, like consents, like senses. For instance, you know about the population of a country, so it doesn't involve the behavior of the people. It's simply then inflation. It's all about the digits. It's all about the statistical data. So once you got each and everything together, at the very end, you need to be more morally very strong. You need to be very conscious about the people's behavior. You need to be very conscious about you're not supposed to cross the limit, which is directed by moral consideration. So this is we have for the today's lecture, and inshallah ta'ala, in my next two lectures we are going to finish the paper and the chapter as well. I'm going to finish the first paper, which consists of two chapters. It's the relationship between the theory and methods and the method of research. So after completing those two chapters, inshallah, within 2 or 3 days, we will simply complete the first paper. And inshallah ta'ala, we will take 1 or 2 lectures for the preparation. Notes, preparation, they're simple questions, and I just want you to have a questionnaire. I will give you the questions, and you are supposed to give me the answer through comments. Jazakallah. Have a nice day.